We are back at it with some more MX bikes, and we have a special guest for you guys today. Shout out to the boy Reaperdoc. He is in here with us today, and we are going to be talking about MX bikes, talking about the land, his experience, and all that fun stuff. Doc, how's it going for you as you kind of just got back, what, I would say a couple days ago? Not even?
Okay, let's see. What is today? Tuesday? I don't even know.
I think today is a Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah.
So I got back Monday night, like super late, and
Okay.
I basically slept all day, but I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
Okay, cool. So right off the rip, like, how was the trip? Like
So,
going from the US all the way to Europe, like how was that experience first?
man, it was amazing. I will say that my flights were long. I mean, obviously we're going pretty far, but
Hmm.
I flew out of DC, and then I flew into Montreal, and I had a like a
Canada?
s- yeah, I don't know I don't know why
Shout out
they
to the
did that, but
Canadian boys.
yeah, they were so nice. Anyway, I had like a 7-hour layover, which was shocked. I walked 10 miles in the Montreal airport just because I was
Okay.
bored.
Okay.
I
Holy
literally
cow.
just walked. I walked up and down the terminal for 7 hours straight, just
Damn.
cruising. Um, and then it was like another 8-hour flight into Milan. So it was
Okay.
like 23 total hours of travel for me.
That's a whole day.
Yeah, it was shocked, but it was fun. It was good. It was good.
What time did you get into Milan? I guess.
I want to I want to say I landed like 10:30 in the morning, somewhere like that. 11 or 10:30 in the morning or something like that. Uh and then yeah, they had a driver there with my name, just some like
Yeah, so that's one of the questions too that I had. So like I heard that everybody had like someone get picked up in like Dodge because Dodge was sponsoring like the
so
main event.
that's what they told us. I think they said, Dodge is a huge sponsor, so you get picked up. We all got picked up in Mercedes. So like I don't
What?
know if yeah, I don't know if Dodge just paid for it. But no, I was like, yeah, we were all kind of expecting like a big like Dodge Ram truck.
Yeah, that I was
And
expecting like something like maybe a Dodge Viper, like
no,
Dodge
no.
minivan, or something.
No, just a Benz, which was nice.
That's freaking sick.
They had my name, so the dude didn't speak like a lick of English, which was funny, but he had like my name, and I was like, yeah, that's me. And then
Did he have Reaper
he,
Doc or your actual
he
name?
he had my actual name.
Oh, that would have been funny.
Yeah. I told Mook that I wanted him to put Daddy Doc on it so I could take a picture.
That would
And
have
he
been
was like,
funny.
all right, I'll try to do it, but I guess it didn't happen. But and then yeah, homie just grabbed my bags and then took me to the car, and Dorian was actually already in the car.
Oh,
So
nice.
I guess Dorian had like just landed. So then that was the first time I got to meet Dorian, and then we cruised back to the hotel from there.
That's pretty sick. I know. Mix was saying that Willie also from the U.S., right?
Yeah. Willie's from like the East Coast, very close to me actually.
Okay, nice. Yeah. So, I like that's one of the things that I was as I said in the video, I was like skeptical of like the actual event of like getting flown out there, having everything reimbursed. That was like my first thought. I was like,
Hmm.
there's no way that they're gonna reimburse everybody all these flights and um. Luckily, it was only 2 guys from the U.S. Imagine if there's like 10 guys. I feel like that would have been extremely expensive per se. But like it was completely reimbursed. Was so the flight was reimbursed. The
We didn't
travel.
even have to pay for it. It wasn't even reimbursed. It was
Oh, they
just given
just
to us.
given to you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So originally they were going to do, and I think some people booked their flights early, just like, I
Just
guess
in
they was just
case.
confident, I don't know. They was
Oh,
just ready to go.
okay.
And yeah, they was just confident. But, I waited, and then like, I think towards like right before round four, like the last qualifier,
Hmm.
they sent us a message like the top 16, like, because I think they were expecting some of the top 10 to not go for whatever reason.
Okay.
So they put like the top 16 or 14 or something like that in like a private Discord, and they were messaging us like, "Hey, don't book your flights. We'll just do it for you." And so yeah, they messaged me. It was the EICMA is the one that, or EICMA is the one that like handled it all.
Hmm.
They had like one of their travel agents reach out to me and ask, what my preferred airport was. And then I actually gave them like a few options just in case, because the airport that's close to me is typically mad expensive. So
Yeah.
I just gave them a couple close enough ones. So like, hey, if this one's super expensive, then try this one. And so then like 2 days later, I just got, here's all your flight information.
That's so sick. That is so. Did
Yeah.
they cover like when you got there? I was like Mix was saying like hotel was covered.
Yep.
Was
They
like
gave us a
food covered?
Yeah, so they gave us a voucher
Okay.
for the hotel. So like, typically like if you book on Expedia or whatever, even when you get to the hotel, you have to put your credit card on.
Yeah. I guess like
We didn't have to do that.
down payment per se.
Yeah, they didn't have to do that. It was just like here's my, my ID and here's the voucher, and then that was it. And then food. So I don't think quote unquote technically it was all covered, but Mook paid for our dinner.
Okay.
And
Nice.
then, so Nico paid for our dinner the one night, and then Steffi, who's the owner of Init, paid
Okay.
for our dinner the next night. And
Okay.
then breakfast was all in the hotel,
Okay.
which I don't think that is I think that was part of our like VIP package, because some of this like Stone Rider and Mook weren't part of the VIP. The only VIP people were the actual players.
Hmm.
Um, they were just quote unquote like staff for the event, and I think they had to pay for their
Like meals and
food
stuff.
and
Okay.
yeah, like their meals and the stuff. And then at the event, we had access to the VIP lounge, which like, I mean, this is where like Tony Cairoli was eating lunch. It was crazy. And we just had our VIP badges, and we walk up, and in the lounge they had food for us.
Okay.
So
So like a kind of like okay, like a buffet per se.
yeah. I've like super fancy Italian food and like like tons of
That's
wine and champagne and
bro. Free wine. Got to dabble up
like
on
so
that.
much too, and I don't really drink that much, so I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's cool for me. But um,
I'm the same.
yeah,
I
no,
don't drink that much either.
we like if we wanted to get other food at the event, like we could, but there was really no reason to, because everything was pretty
Yeah,
much
and then
covered.
VIP.
I think I paid for one meal outside of the airport, so that was it.
Oh, that's dude. That sounds like that sounds like crazy, insane, and like wonderful all at the same time. Like, because that was like another thing. Like I was just going back to earlier. I was like, there's no way that they're gonna be paying for trips, hotels, food, like everything. But now that you like described like how they
Yeah,
did it, it makes total sense. Like
yeah,
everything was like breakfast on the hotel. Food at the venue VIP sections, which was already going to be there regardless if you guys kind of went right.
right.
So and like you said, you only paid for like one meal outside of the whole thing. Like basically everything was covered. So to me, that's freaking sick. Like how was it like playing at a different setup compared to how you like normally play? Because like from like the outside looking in, like it was just like it was like a LAN event. It was like computer, and just like open space. So how was that atmosphere like playing somewhere different? Did you get nervous? Was it exciting? Like, what was it like for you?
So I felt pretty locked in. I'm not gonna lie. Like I have been grinding. Like
Yeah.
Doc has been grinding. Like I did like 8 consecutive like 100 120 hour past 2 weeks. Uh,
Holy crap. That's grinding.
like,
That is
like,
grinding.
I've been doing like 60 70 hours a week for a very long time. I mean, like some of that's recording. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
but still I've been grinding. So I felt really prepared. Um, as far as what it was like to play on their setups, I've never experienced this before, but it was like we would go into a lobby. So we had to do like a whip comp thing. Basically, they needed B-roll to play in between our
Okay.
motos,
Yeah.
like something to put up on the screen. So they're like, just go do wheelies and throw whips and stuff. So we did that for like, I don't know, 45 minutes. We just tossed it. And then, so we had to put all of our settings in, you know, like all of our lean settings and our bike setups and whatever. And then we did that. We closed out of that server. And then when we went back into the server, I've never had this happen. I have like 4,500 hours in bikes. Uh,
That's a
my
lot.
yeah,
That's a lot.
Doc's a grinder, brother.
For real.
My whole profile reset. The same thing. It happened to Lynn's too.
That's
So
crazy.
then we go into free practice, but it was only like half of my settings reset. So like all of my binds were the same, you know, like look back and shift up and all that stuff.
Hmm.
But all of my lean settings reset back to stock. So
That's
like
weird.
it was super weird. So when I picked up my controller, everything felt normal, you know, like I was leaning and steering and everything. But then like it was just so like I felt so off. And same thing happened to Lynn's. And I was like 3 seconds off the pace in the free practice. They didn't record the free practice or stream it or anything. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm a bot. What is going on? You know, like what I'm like, I wasn't even really nervous, you know, like what is happening? And then I just happened to, when I jumped back on for like qualifying, I was like, I don't know, let me just look. And I noticed, you know, I play at like 43% direct lean and it was on like 65 or whatever.
Oh,
And so I
okay.
went and looked and everything had reset. I didn't have smooth on my steering. My linearity was on 100. I think I played like 175 linearity or something. Like it was just, everything was all over the place. So it was definitely hectic. And stressful. Like that was stressful, you know, like
Yeah.
because then I wasn't confident, you know, like I wasn't confident in like, crap, is it going to do it again at the start of Moto 1, you know? And so
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
little bit of, you know, and then all day I had just been practicing on the wrong settings. So then
Now you
really
felt off when it went
yeah,
to
and then
the
when I got back
inputs.
on my settings, I was like, dude, like, oh, it was so, you know, but that's all. If you watch land stuff like Apex or Fortnite or whatever, like if you watch any of that land stuff, like that happens all the time. That's just part of land.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was stressful. I think everybody was really nervous, mostly about the interviews,
Yeah.
because nobody knew we were doing like rider intro interviews and stuff, and so they told us like on the way there, and everyone was like,
They're like, oh crap, I gotta speak in front of a camera.
yeah. I mean, I think Linz and I were probably the most like, all right, like this is just kind of another day in
Yeah.
front of the camera.
Yeah.
And I just tried to look at the cameras and not at the people because I really don't like being in front of people, which is, you know,
Hey,
funny
same.
considering
Low key,
yeah,
same.
I don't mind being in front of, you know, 100 people on the camera, but as soon as I have to stand and talk in front of like
Oh
five,
yeah,
I don't
public
know.
speaking, get me out of
Yeah,
there. No shot.
yeah. So everyone was super stressed about that. Luckily, you know, I qualified 10th, so they went 10th to first. So I got to go first and get it over with. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was really hard too to play there because it was freaking loud. Like, not only, I don't know if you've seen Lynn's vlog or my vlog, but like it's our stage was in the middle of like a room full of other like exhibits, and all of these exhibits had like, which is funny, exhibit
I
97
know.
there, had like insanely loud music, right? So
Okay.
I mean, like we could barely hear. Like I don't know what you play at home, like your volume setting on bikes, but it's super loud, right? Like
Yeah, yeah. I turned mine
I
down a lot.
yeah, I play on like 16 or 18% or something.
Mm-hmm.
We had to have it on like 100 to even hear.
Wow.
And so, because we had speakers right behind us or right in front of us, like coming through the wall. And then, so the announcer's yelling. Then there's all the music from everyone else around us. Like there was a lot of people around the stage too. Like the live stream didn't really do it justice, but like
A
there
lot of
was,
people like walking by, right?
yeah, oh, dude, I'm telling you, there was probably like hundreds, if not like 1,000 people around our stage when we were playing.
Yeah.
And every time someone would make a mistake, they'd yell, you know? And so like,
Oh,
dude, and
rough.
then I'm on the edge of the freaking stage and like there's people coming up and James was on the other side and there's people coming up like yelling at us. You know, we're like in the middle of a race, so there's people like waving their arms in front of us trying to distract us and stuff. It was so hard to like
Oh,
lock in.
that's frustrating.
Yeah, that's how I lost my top 5 spot was some dude was waving at me and like when they're staring into your eyes, it is so hard not to just like look over,
Yeah,
you
no, I
know?
know what you feel. I know what you mean.
It's like impossible. It's like your brain just locks to their eyes. And
It's
the
like, why are you
triple,
looking at me, man? Like,
yeah, well, and then like I just wasn't sure, like, you know, I'm always doubting like maybe that's somebody important and I'm doing something wrong or like,
oh
you
yeah,
know,
I
maybe
get
I
you.
just need to check real quick, you know? And the triple before the last rhythm, right as I was going into it, because I was the only one jumping it from the inside, and I just looked over at this dude and I spun just a little bit and I cased it and I went over the berm and I got stuck. And
Oh,
that's how I went from 4th to 8th. And then that track was just like impossible to pass on unless your name's Cam.
for real.
But
Cam was flying, bro.
yeah,
Cam was
Cam's
flying.
just different, man. I don't know.
I mean, first ever LAN experience. It sounds exactly what a LAN sounds like, you know? Like the atmosphere, people yelling at you guys, trying to get you guys like
Yeah.
tilted, frustrated. Um, but honestly, from like I said earlier, like from the outside looking in, like you couldn't tell there was like loud stuff happening, right? Like from the
Right.
broadcast, because like it was like toned down, and then you got Navo and they were like commentating over it, so you couldn't really hear any of that. But from like the outside looking in, it looked really, really fun. In my opinion, it looked really, really fun because you had like everybody next to you. Say like you were battling, you're saying Jams was next to you. Say like you're battling with Jams, you can be like, "Yo, Jams, don't mess up," you know, and stuff like that. Like I would try to do that personally. I would say like, "Hey, don't mess up. I'm about to pass you here," you know. Um,
Yeah.
so I think that aspect of the land or whatever is pretty cool.
It was really cool. Like in qualifying, uh me and Lynn's like I took his front tire out a couple times and then he take like we were just screwing around with each other, but every time like we'd like look down the row at each other, you know?
Yeah. Just like give him the eye look, like, "Hey, I'm
Yeah.
right here, man."
It was I mean it was cool because I was in the middle of a you know, like we're in the middle of this like super competitive thing, but we had all become good friends already in like the 12 hours we had known each other. So while it was super competitive, it was still just like we were just kind of having fun, to be honest.
Yeah. All right. So how was that track that they played on? That was built specifically for that. Was that your like first time like free practice? I don't know how long the free practice was. Was that like the first time on the track,
Yes.
the map or whatever?
Yeah. So they they had a AMS version, which was basically like Club 2.0. It was very, very like easy and very like rolled off and it because the days before we got there they had all of our setups up there and then people from just walking by could come play bikes
Mm-hmm.
and they had it on the AMS version so that people could actually get around the track without like wanting to throw the controller through the screen, which was funny because in 2 days not a single person from the crowd set a single lap. Like nobody completed a lap without cuts because nobody could complete that track and it was the easy version. But
That's,
that's funny.
I mean, that's how bikes is, man. When
Yeah,
you first start playing it,
nobody,
man.
it was so funny and we were all sitting there like in this like on the stage watching everyone and we were cracking up. We're trying to like not be
Yeah,
mean
no, I
but
get you.
it was so funny. But yeah, so they told us what was that, so we raced on Saturday, so Friday they told us we could grind the AMS track like later on in the day when like all the people started to go away. They said that like we could get on and spin some laps. Nico said that, Deppy said that from Init. And so I don't know if again, I don't know if you've seen Lynn's vlog, but he like kind of I don't know, points out that I got called out for cheating because they all said I could play, and so I waited till no one was there, and I went and got on like one of the corner ones to just spin some laps on,
Yeah.
whatever. And and I didn't even get my Xbox controller plugged in because they had PS5s. I unplugged the PS5 and I went to plug in my Xbox controller, and some dude ran up and was like, "I'll disqualify you right now. Get off." And I was like, "Yo, like, no, like Nico and this lady, like the lady that owns your company said I could play." And they were like, "Nope, never." I was
That's
like,
crazy. That's kind of scary too.
okay.
Like, if, like you're in like a foreign place, you don't know what's happening, right? Like that, I'd be like, all right, I'm out, I'm out.
Yeah, I was like, all right, like that's fine. I'm not trying to like get disqualified or anything. Like, I mean, everyone knew we were all standing there when they said we could play. So,
Yeah,
but I
that's
guess I'm just trying to cheat.
that's crazy. All right. So next up, I have some questions.
Sure.
All right. So I guess let's go back to like the land. So like, prizes.
Yeah.
So I heard that only Cam got like the
No.
trip, but you were saying that everybody got it.
All 10 of us. No, it's not to Qatar. So they're the top three won varying levels of bouginess to the Qatar, and it's MotoGP, not MXGP.
Okay, Moto. Okay.
So Cam gets 4 nights, I believe, in a 5-star hotel and VIP Gold, which is the highest level VIP passes for MotoGP, MXGP, or World Superbike. They're all kind of owned by the same people, so the VIP passes are the same.
Can he
And
bring a
then,
friend? Because I'm down to go.
yeah, it's for two. Yeah, it's for two.
That's
Um,
crazy.
So, and that's everything too. That's flights, hotel, a vehicle. The vehicle is the only thing that I have question marks about, because like personally, I'm not trying to drive in another country.
Oh, 100%. I'd be like
You know,
Uber.
yeah. Like, can you just like trade in? So that's the only question mark that I have. I'm sure we'll sort it out. But especially for them, like if I'm Cam, like I ain't trying to drive in Qatar. Like I don't know,
No,
like
no.
like I'm not trying to drive there. Like I'm trying to go home. But so though the top three are all going to Qatar, and they all have like varying degrees of like length of stay, and like I think the minimum is like 3 days in a 4-star hotel, and then it's like second is 4 days and first is 5 or something like that. I don't know, but they're all going to the same race. And then fourth through fifth, I think, go to an EU MotoGP race.
Okay.
And then sixth, seventh, eighth, which is what I got, is a World Superbike race in EU. We can pick any of them.
Okay.
So I think I'm letting my wife pick because whatever, she can pick where she would like to go. And I think we'll be going to like Barcelona or Portugal.
Okay. That
And
would, both of
then
them would be nice.
facts. Yeah. Yeah. That's why it was just, I honestly, they'd sound awesome.
Yeah.
And then, so that's sixth through eighth. And then ninth and 10th is like kind of low key one of the better prizes, to be honest, which I think is why Valentine did so bad. But no, I'm not even kidding. I don't think Valentine was trying. Is like 3 nights, 4-star hotel to MXGP of Ernée or MXGP of Italy, so Majoria.
I mean,
It's the
that's the only
that's
motocross one, right?
Yep.
That's, yeah, he was definitely sandbagging to get that
But
one
he
for
was
sure.
okay. So I'm 100% confident Valentine was sandbagging because I lapped him for like the second time in Moto 2, and then all of a sudden he just blows past me. I was like, okay, buddy. So we just wanted to go to MXGP,
That's
but
funny.
yeah.
Um,
So we all won that. We were all guaranteed. I also think that's why there wasn't a ton of pressure.
yeah, because
Like,
everybody got something like pretty sick.
yeah, yeah, that's like an incredible experience again. You know.
And then I know that, well, I know of that, like you guys got goggles, signed goggles from
Yeah, we
Hurlings.
got. Yep, Hurlings, Oakleys,
That's
and
freaking sick.
then very, very sick. And then these like Oakley, they're like gamer glasses, which I'm looking at them now. They basically just have like a cut in them so that you can wear them under headsets,
Oh, okay.
and they are very comfortable. I wore them today, and they have some blue light stuff on them, so it helped, reduce eye strain and all that. I used them for a few hours this morning when I was editing, and they actually work really.
I'll have to look into those for sure because those sound pretty damn good. I use a blue tint
Yeah.
on my like monitor already, um, but yeah. And then you said okay, so we got the valuation incorrect in my video earlier, but it's $15,000 value for
Yeah.
that watch.
That watch, when they handed it to Cam, we were all like, "Oh, that's cool. Like, sweet, a watch." And then Nico leaned over and was like, "Hey, by the way, that watch is worth 15 grand." And we were
That's
like, "What?"
insane. That is
And then like
insane.
Cam comes back and he's like, "Look at my watch." And I leaned over, was like, "Dude, that thing's 15,000." His eyes just were like super big. Like, "No, you mean 1,500?" And I was like, "No, they said 15." We confirmed it like 10 times. Like, "Are you sure you don't mean 1,500?" And they were like, "Yep, 15,000."
That is crazy, man. No
Yeah.
one expected that, I would assume.
No, 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 no.
I mean, even if you guys got just the trips, right? That would have been suffice. In like my opinion,
Facts.
like that would have been like great, like cherry on top. Getting a watch, 15K? That's nuts.
Right. Well, I mean, honestly, like the podium guys, like, yo, those number plates are sick. Like they got the
Like for
first,
the
second,
trophies.
third. Yeah, like the little first, second, third trophies. I mean, that's pretty fire, in my opinion. I don't know if that's just because I want it for the back of my stream, but
For real. Let's just be like, hey, I'll purchase that for you. Hey, I got third. Don't mind the
there's a
eighth on the website. Just I got
there,
third.
there's a rumor that we may be getting those for Ariel moving forward. So
Ooh, okay. Breaking
okay, okay.
news, rumor, breaking news right there. Okay, so we kind of went over the event and everything. It sounds absolutely like a blast. In my opinion, like I said at the very beginning, I was skeptical, but I'm so
Same.
happy. I'm so happy that it turned out how it did, and you guys made it there. You guys made it back, had a blast. Um, that's like a huge stepping stone, I think, for bikes personally. Even though it's like it's a small game, right, compared to player
Sure.
size, compared to everything. But like having that LAN event, playing the game, MX Bikes having a LAN event per se. Um, is there going to be another one of these next year? Will there be more than one next year?
Uh, okay, so I think all of us were skeptical. I don't think that there's a single person in the world, unless you were like involved in the back end,
Mm.
that wasn't skeptical going into this. Like you said, come on, it's MX Bikes. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that's why I was so skeptical. I was like, bro, this has like 2,000 players, man. Like,
Yeah, like
there's no
I
way
mean,
that we were supposed to get a $15,000 watch getting first. You know, it's like that's insane. But like I said, I'm so happy that it turned out good.
I think I think that I don't think we have a clue, and I think that lady, the in it, the
Hmm.
one that put it all on, Steffi. Do you know who she is?
I do not know.
Okay, neither did I, but we did a little research while we were there. She's I think it's 5-time or 7-time, like, women's MXGP world champion. The
Okay.
only, the only woman to ever go undefeated. She's on the, like, global FIM board. Do you remember Freak Style?
Do not like
Like,
freestyle or
no, Freak Style. It was a PlayStation 2 game.
I do not know.
She was a playable character in it.
That's crazy.
Like, this Steffi is no joke.
Legendary. A legend.
Like, yeah, like legendary is like almost like an under, like not doing her justice. I I was talking to her at the end about like, the real reason I wanted to go was for just, for my brand awareness. Really, it was trying to get brand deals and meet people and talk with the Oakley rep and try to work sponsorships for, the my content and stuff. And
Hmm.
so I was talking with her at the end, and she was like, if you need anything, if you want to be involved with like any company, let me know. Like, she was like, I will get you in touch. And then I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, and she said, I've been talking with Feld, Feld owns, or they run
Yeah.
Supercross and all that. And so I have a friend in real life that is very high up at Feld. He's like the head of audio engineering for all of Feld. I
Okay.
grew up with him. And so I was like, oh, cool. Like there's something I can relate with Steffi on, And I was like, oh, so like, oh, you hang out with like or the people at Feld, like the higher ups? And she was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was like, oh, do you know like the head of audio engineering? And she stopped me and she's like, I don't know people that work for Feld. I know people that own Feld. And I was like, oh,
Oh,
like
she knows.
she's
She's high
she's
up.
like she's the real. She's like, I just had lunch with like the CEO of Feld like a week ago. Like she's
Damn.
like no joke. And I think talking with her really got me very interested in like what's to come. I'm 100% confident that there will be a year two. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they're already working on it.
We're grinding
Um,
for that.
yeah. And I don't know any details on it, but I am confident that there will be a year two, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was something before then. To be honest, I mean, her company in it. I started, the cooler this event got. I'm like, okay, well, I got to do some research on these people, because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
these people were legit. They had, I guess, recently, I think NASCAR went to like Las Vegas or something. I don't know. I don't really watch NASCAR, but they did basically the same thing where they had some gamers play the same track in the infield while the real race was going on,
Okay.
and they had like 250 concurrent viewers, 250,000 concurrent viewers on their live stream on it.
Gosh damn. That's a lot.
Yeah, yeah, like they're legit, And so the fact that she is so interested, and at the same time as that we were at EICMA, they had another group of people from in it at the Las Vegas F1 race.
Okay, this weekend.
Yeah, doing the same thing. They're there right now, but she chose to be at the MX Bikes event because she, her words, I'm a moto girl. And so that makes me really excited, like
Yeah, that
she
gives
could
you
have been at
like,
the F1 race.
yeah, like I would be like, I'm probably going to Vegas. Let's be real.
Yeah, she could have been at the F1 race in Vegas, and she chose to come watch us goobers play bikes.
Yeah. Um,
So
no, I mean that just from like hearing that, that's exciting. Like very, very exciting.
yeah,
Like you messaged and like what you mentioned to me was like we should get the creators out there. You get like the
yes,
players and then get like a few of the creators out there. I
yes,
think that would also help the brand of MX Bikes, right? And be like, okay, these people play for fun, they make videos. And then you got like a pro side, which all kind of are, I guess, for the creator side,
sure.
but like at the same time, I like that, like what you were saying with her and everything, that just gives us more confidence of what's to come. And like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like two things going on next year.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was something that they asked for feedback, and that was something that I, a little bit just for security for myself, so that I can go back next year.
For real, for real.
Because
Yeah, I was
like,
like, oh man, top 10 now that everybody's seen this. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be tough.
yeah, I mean, I'm getting old, man, so I don't know if I can be able to hang. But anyway, I put out there like, hey, if you look at any other game, anything that happens that's big, this is what they do. They bring creators out because, like, I mean, I'll just give the example of the the rider preview video that they shared in like 8 hours had, I don't know, like it had like 500 views, and I asked them, hey, send it to me and I'll repost it on my TikTok, and it had like 18,000 views or something in the first day. And
Yeah,
it's not me, but like it's creators just we have a different reach than
way different.
companies,
Way different.
like it's just people are interested in us as individuals, not really companies. And so when we can go on behalf of the company, people are a lot more invested, they'll pay attention more, they watch it, whatever, right?
Yeah, that's
And
with any game.
right, exactly. That's just creators in general. And so that was my, my pitch to them was like, yo, like if you do this, it would really, get Exhibit, me, Troy, Linz, if there's anyone else that's popping off, get us all there because we all have bigger audiences and we all have unique audiences. And I promise you'll get like 10 times the eyes on things if we're posting, not just you guys. And they agreed. So
I mean, like,
hopefully that's a thing.
and going on to that, like adding on to that, it's like different POVs. Like you'll have Lindsay's
Right.
POV, right, from coming from the UK. You'll have your POV coming from East Coast.
Right.
My POV coming from the West Coast. I believe Troy's out in the West Coast, right, up in
Yeah.
Washington area. So like two of us coming from the West Coast. It's all going to be different POVs, different like styles, like contributing to just one thing, which is MX bikes, going to the land, showing us like how we participated in. And I think more people are going to like, oh, I want to go there because Troy's going there. I want to go there. Linz is going to be there. I got to go there. I can actually meet Linz. We could do a meet and greet, right? Something to that nature.
Right.
So that's obviously, like you said, that's going to bring more eyes, and more eyes. So hopefully,
Right. I mean, go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, hopefully it works out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's really just about sales, right? Like,
Yeah.
they just want more people to, buy in, buy tickets to the event and or buy bikes or buy the game or whatever. And what's cool is I don't really feel like there was that much like publicity on this about anything.
I feel like there was
And,
like, it was like that one video, and then obviously we have it in our Discord and stuff like that. But
right.
like other than that, I don't feel like there was enough publicity on it. And now we know
Yeah.
how it works. So it's like, okay, now we got to like go all in.
But what's even cool about that is like, okay, so first of all, I was like fanboying a little bit over Linz because like Linz got me into the game and it was just really cool to meet him
Mm-hmm.
and to see all of that. But he had people, I mean, he had like tons of people taking pictures with him, and he had people say that like they only came to the EICMA to meet Linz. Like,
Yeah.
if there was more, like if we all were there, like I mean, I'm not saying it's like a crazy amount of like ticket sales, but like it would definitely help and contribute, and
I think so too.
and yeah, it's just, and to your point of like different POVs, I didn't even really think of that until today when, I mean, me and Lynn's kind of hung out the whole time. We're older and creators. Like I think we had the most in common, so we just kind of hung out with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we both vlogged the trip, but our vlogs feel
Way different,
way
right?
different,
Yeah.
like way different. Like it doesn't even feel like we had the same experience sometimes. Like
No,
it's
for
just,
sure. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's going to bring more eyes in and be like, oh, okay, like Doc had this type of experience. I wonder what Lynn's had. And it's like, oh, let me
Right,
go
yeah.
watch his Lynn's video. And then if Troy went, let me go watch Troy's video and stuff like that. And I think like just having that and just being like, oh, I can go meet Lynn's here. Like, oh my God, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go meet Troy and like stuff like that. Cause like the younger generation for sure is going to
Sure.
be like I got into bikes by watching your guys' stuff. Right. So it's like,
sure.
I think it's only going to help.
Yeah, I don't really see a downside other than money for people flying us out there, but that's what sponsors are for.
Yeah, for
That's-
real.
So
And like I was mentioning this in like the video that I posted, I was like, we should do something like at Supercross, right? Because like
Mhm.
someone also commented on the video and was like, bro, you know how hard it is to play bikes? Like, and you said that earlier in the video, it's like they couldn't even complete a lap. And I was like, I didn't really think about that, right? I just thought about how cool it would be to have like
Yeah.
bikes there at a pop-up tent, being like kind of like a sponsor type thing with like a privateer team, so you get more exposure for the privateer because more people coming up to the tent want to play bikes. I personally think that would be cool. Or you could do something at Vegas, do like the 4 qualifiers and have like a Supercross thing at Vegas for bikes, and that would bring more eyes in too, and then like have something overseas for next year. Just
Yeah.
different ideas now that's like popping in my head, but
Yeah, I think there's probably some. I mean, like the pits, you could probably do whatever you want, but like, because I talked to Panic Rev is one of my, like sponsors the channel,
yeah,
and
he's an AZ.
I talked. No, not him, the brand. Like there's a like a
those-
clothing brand.
Oh, I was thinking of the actual
Yeah,
individual. I was
everyone
like,
always gets them. Everyone
like,
always
yeah.
gets them mixed up. When I first started like putting Panic Rev like logos on my stuff, he messaged me and was like, "Hey, first of all, that's not my logo. Second of all, why do you keep putting my name all over the place?"
That's
And I was
funny.
like, that's not you, brother. But no, anyway, they're like a
like a clothing
they're
brand.
just a brand, yeah, a clothing brand that does specializes in moto. I think Trey Kennard's one of the founders, and McElrath does a lot of stuff with them. And
That's sick.
um, I had talked to them for a while about like, yo, let's kind of do what you're saying, and because they have tents and stuff in the, when they sell stuff at
Hmm.
Supercross and all that, they
Yeah.
and Moto. I was like, dude, like let's get a couple computers set up, like we can get some bikes going. And I think there were some issues with for Supercross, bringing another game like to
Yeah.
compete against
No, I feel
Supercross.
that. Yeah, with the
You know what I
Monster Energy
mean? And
Supercross.
then same thing for outdoors, like it's branded
I
MX
didn't
vs
even I
ATV.
didn't even think about that, to be honest.
So I think that's an issue. Um, I don't know anything, but it may not be an issue
Maybe
for too
GP.
long.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe
So
GP because I don't think there's a GP
yeah,
game anymore, right? So
there is not a GP game. There is, yeah. Anyway, so
rumor, breaking news. You guys heard it here first. Nah, but
I don't know anything.
but no, I think like the idea of the like just having more events and everything like that, I think is just gonna be beneficial for the game. I think it's just gonna grow too. Like it could, I think bikes, although it's like a sim, although it's like very difficult of a game, it could potentially be as big as say Monster Energy Supercross games, or MX versus ATV
I
games.
agree.
I feel like it's kind of already there in the content side, right? Like
Yes,
you have your
bigger.
like few, you have like your few guys that still do MX versus ATV stuff. Shout out to El Puppy. Shout out to, I believe Wyndham still does it. But that's it. I mean, I don't know if anybody really
Yeah.
else like popular kind of does it. But like, I feel like bikes are just gonna overtake that eventually.
Well, I was talking to Linz, and I guess he was doing before we went to the event. He was doing some research. Everyone knows bikes has like 3,000 average players a day.
Hmm.
He said MX vs ATV had like 75.
Yeah, that's like I feel because bikes also is like free riding is huge, right? And
Right.
so like that aspect of the game plus the racing aspect plus like the free ride aspect, like MX versus ATV, it's like you can't really do that. It's just racing. It's just like race,
Yeah.
race, race, and that's like the numbers are kind of crazy. 2,000 to 75. I mean, like bikes has already overtaken that. So
Yeah, I think the issue with bikes is the barrier of entry. Like
yeah, gotta have a
you
PC.
can't you
Gotta
got to have a PC. You got to get the mods. The mods are confusing.
yeah.
That's why, I was looking at your channel today, but um
I get
when I
so
was
many
watching your
questions, bro. Of like, how do I download mods? And I still get it to this day. And I'm like, I'm just not responding at this point. There's so many videos out there. You have a video just recently. Like we have a video from I think it was like 2 years ago. It's like, guys, there's a video on YouTube. Just like go look at it. But
That's what I was talking with Snap, one of the devs, and that's something I mentioned is like, yo, could we, like, if the OEMs or factory, I don't really care, like just one of the bikes, could they be a part of the game so that they come with the game and they get updated through Steam? Like
that would be
uh,
huge.
like that alone would be insane, and then they of course were like, the issue is licensing. So you couldn't have something through the game that's not a mod that is,
Like say
you
Husky,
know,
but you could have
yeah,
like the factory one. Just call it like Factory 250, right?
right. Like something like I'm sure we could call it like Husqvarna and like Zuki or you know what I mean, like
Yeah, yeah,
Honda,
yeah. For
like
real.
I'm sure there's a way, MTK or something, like there's a way we could work around it somehow. But like that, because I mean that's the biggest issue I think, because like that would get rid of all of the like bike mismatch, because if your game's just not up to date, Steam forces you to update it, and then you update your game, and if it was a bikes update, then you don't have mismatch anymore.
I think
And
I think it is I want to say Assetto, but you can like
yes,
I'm pretty
I don't know.
sure in Assetto if like you can download something, like say you wanted to join a server, it tells you what you need, and you can sometimes download it directly from there. You know what I mean?
Oh, that would be
I think
fire.
it's Assetto. Don't quote me, but I
Well, Seto
think
does have a really good like
even like
mods
even Beam too.
integration.
Beam is like, okay, you can download maps from another website, like off the Beam like download website. Oh, this
Yeah.
is the game I'm thinking of, because Beam, you can download a map directly into Beam that's from the internet. So
Yeah,
like,
see, like that would be fire.
yeah, that would be insane. But
We just need that. I feel like that's probably like, as far as I see, that's like one of the biggest issues is the barrier of entry. I have tried to bring so many friends in to play bikes, and they're just like, I don't want to have to redo all of this every time there's an update, and
yeah.
then they can't figure it out because they're bots, and
No, I
it's just
feel you, man. I feel you.
you know,
I
and
feel you.
then like that and netcode, I feel like are like two of the biggest issues. But
Yeah. All right. So I have some. Okay. So we kind of talked about kind of like everything regarding the event, your experience, even like new events next year, possibly. Now I got some questions. Shout out to the boy Mix. He has a couple questions here. He said, "Did Paboso say he would work on MX bikes?" Was Paboso was there, correct?
correct, Paboso and Snap were both there.
Did they say that will work on MX bikes? That's the question I have. Right?
W mixed.
Right, W Mix, but
So Paboso was very like introverted.
feel that
Like,
same.
I mean, yeah, I mean, and like, so you would try to like talk to him, and he would give you like a little bit, and then kind of just like run away. So I didn't really get to interact with Paboso very much, but Saturday night we all went out for drinks, which was very enjoyable. It was like 20 of us, and it was probably the most fun of the whole thing. We just sat around and talked. But
I
I
was gonna
sat
say
next to Snap.
drinks. I'm pretty sure all those guys are under like 18, right? Besides you and Linz.
Not in Italy.
Ah, I didn't even think about that. I
Yeah,
was thinking
Italy
US.
is
I'm like, bro, it's 21. You go out and party, right? But
no, it's fine there. It's 18 there. So
okay.
yeah,
Because you
we
have to be
all
18,
just
right, for the event. Had to be 18
yep,
plus. Gotcha.
yep. Which I don't think will ever change if it's at that, because that's Italian law.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so I sat next to Snap on purpose because I was like, listen, bro, I got questions. And so I picked his brain on like, how do you like, I just straight up asked him, like, where do you think, like, how do you think the game is right now? Like, do you think the game's in a good state? I was like crossing my fingers, like, please don't be like, yeah, it's great,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he seemed like really like almost disappointed in the game. And like, things like Linz is on stage getting black box, right?
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
front
yeah,
of
yeah.
like thousands of people. Like that's like an L. Cam gets stuck in a freaking tough block and
Oh, I
almost
saw
ruins
that.
the whole thing.
I
You know
saw
what I
that. Yeah,
mean?
I actually saw that. That's
Um,
funny.
all of our settings got messed up, and then like obviously the replay. That's probably like Bike's biggest weakness, in my opinion, is the replay looks terrible, and
Especially with the
nobody
netcode, yeah.
wants. Right. Nobody wants to watch competitive things if it looks like we're all just playing on on
Yeah.
bounce houses. It just is crazy. And so he seemed disappointed almost of like, no, it's not. It's not at all. It's like, not that it wasn't ready for something like this, but like, man, it's nowhere near where it should be for this kind of stage, which is really encouraging for me, like that he saw that and was like upset, like he wasn't stoked about it and was like, yeah, this kind of sucks, and was really interested in the netcode. And he said they have four or five like major areas that they're focusing on. He did not give me all of them, but
Gotta
one of
pry
them
it
was
from
net.
them.
Yeah, I tried. I was like, all right, and then netcode, cool. What else? It was like netcode, just like general physics, and then a lot of the bugs, ironing those out, so it's just a better overall experience. So I guess to answer Mixed question, yes, they seemed very, very motivated. And one of the questions I asked him was, like, did you have any idea how big your game was? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like you guys made this game and then you guys just kind of been like la la land for a while, and like the game's just blowing up and we're just kind of got, our eyes closed,
Yeah, yeah.
And he was like, no, like, we knew it was growing, but seeing the amount of passion everybody has, and I think like hearing how many hours we have in it too, like they were kind of blown away, like,
I
and I said,
think.
yeah, I got.
Oh, go keep going.
I was gonna say, when I said I had like 4,500 hours, he was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, no, that's
Like
crazy. That is
you're playing my
crazy.
game that much,
That's
like.
crazy. And I
And
think
I think,
I think like everything as creators, like TikTok especially. I think TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and YouTube videos, like, bro, it's blowing up the game like tremendously from everybody.
yes,
You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
I randomly see like people I don't even know on TikTok like bikes videos. And I'm like, who's this guy? You know,
yes,
like all the time.
yes.
And it's like, uh, yeah, I mean, it's definitely blown up.
I think that I think he found he seemed, Snap seemed passionate again about it. Like I didn't know him before, but like he definitely seemed passionate. And I think like one of the things that helped it like solidify that was Lynn said, like I was able to quit my day job
Mhm.
and make content playing your game. And I don't think Poboso like or Snap realized that. And then I was like, yeah, like me too. Like this is what I do full time. So please, make
Continue
it
to work on it,
easy,
right? Yeah.
like make it like easier,
Yeah.
and they were, and I think, and then Stony and JV make Drax full time for the game,
Is
and
JV still working on other stuff, right? Or is he just
ooh,
no
no.
fully? Okay.
Also, did you know JV is like him? Did you know
Yeah,
that?
that's why I was asking. I was like, doesn't he do like he worked on like Star Wars, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, like that's why I
yeah,
was asking because I was like, I know he did that.
yeah. No, I didn't know that, but yeah, he no, he told me he's full time bikes now,
That's
which is
crazy.
wild.
Yeah.
So like Mook, JV, Stony, Linz, me, Troy, like there's a lot of us that like really rely on this game. And I don't think that they realize that,
Yeah.
and so I think this was cool for them to see that like I'm making, we're making living off your game. So please pay attention to the game.
Yep. No, for real. And like for me, I personally can't do it, right? I can't go full time, bro. But I freaking wish. But for me, like I was at the beginning, I would say summer. I was kind of getting frustrated with the game. I personally was. I was like,
Yep.
I didn't like where it was heading. Like this was before we knew about the land, I believe. I think the land stuff came after this. It could be before this. I don't know. But um, I was personally like frustrated because I didn't like the physics, man. Like I feel like I still don't like how the physics work in like the front end aspect. I feel like it's still a little
Sure.
bit wonky, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Like I'm getting used to it now that I've been playing a little bit more now that I've like playing, right? But that's one of the main aspects. And like from what you're saying, like Snap is saying, like yeah, we have 5 areas that we want to work on. That's just that kind of gives me motivation. Like hey, they're gonna take this serious. They're gonna try to work on this stuff, and they're gonna try to make the game better. And that's obviously what everybody likes to hear. So um, I wish I could make this full time. That would be awesome.
Just you
Um,
can, I
but
believe.
yeah, especially with everything going on. I mean, we do like different videos and stuff, but that's really really good. They also asked, "What does Poboso look like?" But I mean,
Okay. He looks exactly like you think he looks.
that
That's
yeah,
all
there
I'll
you go.
say.
Yeah, mix. Like that's the question you got.
He looks exactly what you picture Barbosa is
I mean,
exactly what he looks like.
makes sense. Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
But no, and you got to meet some awesome people. Corelli, I think that's how you pronounce it, right? Corelli.
Yeah, yeah,
Corel. There's MX2 Champ, right? MX2
yeah.
Champ.
Which I don't really watch a lot of MXGP,
I
but
know his name. I don't know what he looks like per se,
yeah.
but
He he handed us something, or I stood next to him, took a picture, and I was like, "This guy's famous. Let's go."
just one of those. Hey, yeah, cool. Don't know you, but you're famous. That's funny.
I think one of the coolest things, like again, like I think Lynn's really got a really cool experience. We don't really watch MotoGP over here, in the US as much,
Yeah,
but it is like very, very popular over there. And Danny Pedrosa, I guess, is like a legend in MotoGP, like a household name. Like if I was to say Dale Earnhardt, over here.
yeah.
And so, he came out on stage, and all the EU kids around me were like, "Oh my gosh, it's Danny Pedrosa."
And you're
And
sitting
I
there
was
like,
like,
who the hell's that?
yeah, I was like, I don't know who that is. And Lynn's was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go like get a picture with him." And I was like, I took my phone because I was gonna like take a picture for him.
Hmm.
And as we're walking up, Lynn's walks up to him, and Danny goes, your lens, and like recognized lens, and I was like, dang, like
That's crazy.
that's actually super cool. Like W
Yeah,
W
W
for him.
lens. That's awesome. Uh,
Uh,
no, I mean, just from everything that we've been talking about, I mean, sounds like the land was a huge, huge success.
yes.
And like I said this, it makes me regret not trying to qualify, right? It definitely does after hearing all this awesomeness. Um, and it definitely makes me motivated to at least try, right? Say they don't do the
Yeah.
creators or anything like that, but at least try to do it for the next one if they do have a next one. Because I mean, I feel like a lot of people were skeptics of like, "Oh, we're not going to try this because I don't think it's going to work out, right?" And now I bet
Sure.
you every single person that's watched the vlogs, everybody watched the streams, are like, "Yeah, I regret that," and I'm
Yeah,
one of them, you know. So it's like, we're definitely excited for the next one if there is a next one, which hopefully there is.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone kind of had the right to be skeptical, you know?
Mm.
I mean, like this, even the event, the EICMA, like, none of us have heard of that, you know? I mean, at least
Yeah.
over here in the States, like, I never heard of that. So, like, I was picturing like a little tiny convention. I mean, I've never experienced something that big. I mean, just outside of the LAN itself, that convention was. I've been to TwitchCon, and I've been to conventions over here that were huge. You know, I mean, like,
Would you
or even
compare it
just
to like a Supercross?
oh my gosh, brother, not even on the same realm of a Supercross race. I'm talking like I walked for 2 days through two gigantic buildings, didn't see anything, just to find at least two more.
Oh my god,
Th-
that's huge.
I mean, I'm talking like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people going through there.
Oh my
Hundreds of
god,
thousands.
that's
Like,
crazy.
I mean, like, it's like hard to even like explain. Like, I mean, if you've ever been to like Disneyland,
Yeah.
packed, like, around the holiday or something, like, times it by like three. I mean, it was.
What's funny is
I would.
I went to Disney World around Christmas time, bro. Like 2020, 2019, 2020
Yeah.
in December. That thing was packed, like
Yeah.
everywhere you went.
I went to TwitchCon in 18, and that was like insane. I mean, that was crazy. There's so many people there, and this was. I'm not even exaggerating. Probably 10 times the size of TwitchCon.
It's crazy. I just, yeah, definitely regret the decision not to try, for sure. Definitely regret that.
It's all good. There'll be another one. Don't worry.
For real. Hopefully we got the creators, because let's be real, I'm not fast enough anymore. So
Hey, I wasn't fast enough either, man. You just got to do like.
you gotta put 80 hours in. Gotta work 3
I don't know
jobs.
how old you are, but maybe you'll get it a
29.
little bit. Oh, 20. Oh, you're older than. You're just okay. Well, when's your birthday?
June 9th. I just turned 29 this year.
All right, so did I. Mine's in July, so we're old people.
We're
so,
real
yeah.
old men. My back hurts every day. My knees hurt.
So yeah, unfortunately, yeah, you're gonna have to grind your life away.
Yeah,
So.
for real. 3 jobs basically.
Yep.
But no, man. One thing, I definitely appreciate you taking the time out of your day
Of course.
to record this nice little. It's been an hour that we've been talking, so
Dang,
nice
W,
little
that'll-
podcast.
RPM's
I'm
gonna
using
go crazy.
I'm using the whole thing. Like I'm not
W.
cutting it at all. I'll probably cut the beginning that I messed up, but but like I'm not cutting everything. I don't even know if I want to put gameplay footage, man. I got to play for an hour now. It's like
The grind starts now,
for
baby.
real,
The
grind starts now for next year.
now.
I want to do good in Supercross too. I want to at least qualify for at least one. I remember, this is hilarious. Like you'll get a kick out of this. So you probably even noticed this. Last year, Navo did like intro videos or like a video for the Supercross. I was in it, dude. I made one event.
Hey,
I made one event.
They knew you was in that one event, though.
Hey, I made one event, man. But hey, but yeah, no. Just thank you again for taking the time out of your day. It means a lot. So, and then hey, for this year, we're going to bring back the Super Pools. We haven't been doing them since Supercross is off, but definitely would like to have you. Let's get Troy in one. Let's get all the creators in one.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I think that would be awesome. Got to get shout to Linz. You got to get him to respond to me so we can get that set up. But no, I appreciate the time and day that you took. And I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. It's It's been an hour. Well, I guess it is a podcast. We should do this more often, just talking about the game. Maybe like once a month or something to that nature. Put it on someone else's channel. I think that would be really, really fun. Really, really cool. I just literally thought about that idea in my head. But no, I just
write it down.
Yeah, write it down. I'll probably forget.
Don't forget.
I'll probably forget, Loki. But no, thank you very, very much. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you guys go check out Doc's channel. Doc, you're past 13, right?
Yeah, I don't know, somewhere around there.
Let's get him to 14. 14. I'm trying to get to 14. We're close. Let's both get to 14 by the end of the year.
I'm at 12.5. 12.5.
12.5. Let's get him to 13 and then already get him to 14. And yeah, let's continue to grind, have fun with it. Make sure you guys check out his channel. Make sure you guys go check out all of his recent videos. They've been fire. The thumbnails have been insane. So make sure you guys go check those out. Leave a like if you guys want to see more of this. Hit the subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys back here in tomorrow's video. We're out. Peace.
Peace.